It's late June, so obviously here in England the rains have returned, and because it's June it's still Pride Month. And even though I think most of us know that for the most part Pride is nothing more than a corporate cash grab, every corporation sticks a rainbow on its products and hikes the prices up. I also have no problem with people of different sexualities celebrating themselves for a month and being celebrated. This weekend just gone, I was at the local Pride event, and then in the evening my band played a biker rally. So on both occasions there were a lot of men wearing black leather. And of course Pride is all over social media. Last night I was just scrolling and I came across this, the gay test. A test I took to determine whether or not I'm homosexual. And if it had turned out I was gay, that would have been a shock to me and also the wife. But before we get started on that, if we look at the illustration, those two men are holding hands and clearly the one in the blue is staring at the other guy's cock. So I'll assume they are gay. But how did I get on? Now of course I know my sexuality, I'm straight, but also I know when I go out I often get hit on by gay guys. So I was wondering, what is it I'm giving out to the rest of the world? But not only that, this quiz not only has fucking appalling spelling and grammar, but some of the questions are so vague, it's hard to know how to answer. And of course this isn't a problem for me, but if I were an adolescent lad going through puberty, hormones flying everywhere and being very confused, I may have taken the result very seriously. The first question is, are most of your friends the same gender or opposite gender to you? Now for me that's about 50-50, but I fail to understand the relevance. Because unless we're playing with stereotypes, whereby if I were a man with mostly female friends, I must be a flamboyant homosexual like in films made for women, or if most of my friends were male, well again, why would I want to hang around with men? I don't think the question has any validity. The next question isn't quite as well written. It reads, will you immediately take a show after exercise? So I think that's meant to mean, will you immediately take a shower after exercise? Maybe not, maybe it is take a show. You know, again, playing on stereotypes, the gays go for a run, then go and see Annie or whatever. Will I take a shower immediately after exercise? Well, yes, because it makes me feel better and it's kind for those around me. Again, how does this determine my sexuality? Next up, do other people say you are very talkative? Again, I don't understand the relevance of the question. I know lots of straight people who never shut the fuck up, and they're mostly heterosexual women. But again, is it just stereotypes? Does everyone have to be out and flamboyant? Can you not have a gay man who isn't very talkative? Then we come to a few questions which I can answer openly and honestly, although again, I fail to see how it would determine my sexuality. I mean, this test is for men. It needs one question. Do you like sucking cock? If yes, you're gay. But this question goes, which of the following people will you appreciate more? And the option for me is gentle and smart, because those are the people I like. The next question goes, what kind of partner will you prefer? Notice the word is will and not would, so this is assuming this is definitely going to take place. Again, this will be a shock to Mrs. Disgruntled. I answered younger and adorable. But again, that's nothing to do with my sexuality. It's because I'm 45 fucking years old. If I was single, of course I'd be looking for a younger woman who I could take care of, who would bounce up and down on me like a fucking Kango hammer. So for any young ladies watching with daddy issues, be sure to get in touch. Question 6 is very vague. Have you ever dated the same or opposite gender? Yes. Next, how do you feel when you see gay couples kissing? Again, this is open to interpretation. If I see two men kissing, I'll be honest, I'm not keen to watch it. I'm not going to stare, but gents, knock yourselves out, have a whale of a time. If it's two gay women though, if it's two attractive lesbians kissing, well, to be blunt, if it leads to them fucking, that's essentially half of my browsing history. Question 8, again, is very vague. It asks, do you ever have feelings about a same gender close friend? Feelings, please define it. Of course I have feelings about friends. For example, if a mate of mine is making me piss myself laughing, I will like that person. I will feel positively inclined. It does not imply I want to bugger him. The next question was so vague I didn't bother to write down my answer, but question 10 is, do you like fancy clothes and have a taste in fashion? Again, is it just stereotypes? Does every man have to have fallen out of an episode of Sex and the City? Surely a man can dress well and care about fashion without being gay, and the same is true in reverse. There are some gay guys who look fucking homeless. I mean in general appearance. I've never walked up to an actual homeless man and said, "Excuse me mate, do you suck dick?" Because that could lead to a very awkward situation. The next question is rather more direct and rather more personal. It asks, have you ever kissed or wanted to kiss someone of the same gender? And I confess, yes, I've done this. As a young child, I'd kiss my dad before I went to bed. If you're watching this in Liverpool, you won't know what that meant. Your dad's the person responsible for you coming into being, not those fellas who live with your mum for about 3 months at a time. The next question is again fantastically vague. Have you ever had a crush on someone in the past? Yes. The final question is another grammatical nightmare. If your best friend come out of the closet to you, you would. Now personally, it wouldn't be a problem, because I'd want my friend to be happy and be themselves, and I'd be honoured that they trusted me enough with that information. What is odd though, is out of the closet, we say that in the UK, even though we don't use the word closet, we say cupboard. So even here, gay people come out of the closet rather than coming out of the cupboard. In the same way that in the UK, a fag is a cigarette. If you're in the USA, don't ask someone for a fag if you don't want to get shot. Unless, of course, you are that way inclined, in which case, have a great time. So that brings me to my result. I have a high probability to be gay. So that's news to me. Like I said, I'm not taking that test seriously at all. I know it's nothing more than fucking clickbait, but it does concern me that a younger person could take the same test and take the results very seriously. And of course, there's nothing wrong with being gay. But I think sexuality is something for people to work out by themselves, not on an online quiz. Now, of course, I now know I could be gay according to this quiz, and usually I'd walk home, but as it's been so fucking stereotypical, I guess I need to put on Kylie and skip. As ever, thanks for watching.